Welcome everyone to Body Activation Explorations. This is thigh abduction adduction with hip external rotation, also known as your hip going in and out. So make sure that you journal what you're doing and ask yourself, what do you currently feel, right? What do you feel where? And accurately describe it. Put some accurate descriptions to it. Now, how is it affecting how you move? Each one of these movements will be done 6 to 12 times each side, and make sure that it is pain-free with zero cramping. It shouldn't even feel tight. Make sure that your pace is controlled about 3 to 4 seconds on each repetition, and that your focus is to find the position that is difficult to control and pain-free. And later, we'll actually build an exercise around that. So take note of that for sure. Now, the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to stabilize our body. And we do that by either hanging onto the wall, or I have the massage table right here, and I'm just lightly touching it. And I'm finding out where my hip can rotate to. And I'm doing this very lightly, and I'm just watching it to make sure that I have complete control how I am rotating it. Now, I'm doing this several times on each side just to find out where my ease of external rotation or my foot going out to the side feels comfortable, because I've had some hip problems in the past, and I want to be certain that what I'm doing isn't pushing my body to the limit, but rather just finding out where it feels good and where it doesn't feel so good. Now we're going to turn to that left side rotating out, and we're going to anchor on our right leg with our right hand either against the wall or on a chair, and from there my leg goes directly out to the side. I've rotated out first at the hip, so think of rotating the foot out with a straight knee and slowly bringing your leg out to the side. Sometimes the thigh can actually rotate back in, and this is something where you want to make sure that you have just a good feel of what the thigh is doing. So it can be very advantageous to watch the leg actually do its thing. So if you got a mirror, that's even better. I don't have any mirrors at our facility yet. So just watch the leg, see how it moves. You can also anchor your hand on your hip, like I do here with my right hand on my hip, just to see what's all participating above the hip, right? So I have it right next to the top of that hip bone. Now we're going to move to our back, and if you have a massage table like this, I go all the way to one side. If you're on the ground, it doesn't really matter. So I rotate my left foot out, and I do it very lightly because it's easy to rotate this really fast and get the hip all jammed up. So make sure it's nice and slow. I have my right leg out to the side slightly, so I'm sliding my leg in and out. And if you're on the ground, this is a pretty easy one to do. I have my hands on my hips to see if I'm rotating my pelvis at the same time, because I want to make sure that it's primarily my leg that's participating, even though I know the rest of my body is going to kick in on this. And I'm just noticing how it's moving and how it feels and how much control I have over it. And now I take it to the opposite side. If I'm on the table, I just scooch over. If I'm on the ground, then I just literally take my left leg and bring it a little to the side, to the left side, while I rotate my right leg out, or my right foot out, so that I can start sliding it on the table. So I'm going to make sure that my right leg maintains that external rotated position, or that foot out position, as I'm going through this. And you can see I'm having a little trouble doing that. If you've had any type of hip, knee, or ankle problems, this can be a very big test for you. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to roll over to our right hip. I take that top foot, I set it on my heel, and I rotate the foot up. And from there, I try to maintain that rotation out as I'm going straight up and straight down, almost as if I'm cutting the body in half with my thigh or my leg, kind of pretending I'm doing a snow angel except on my side. After doing between 5 to 12 repetitions on one side, I'm going to go right to my stomach And I'm going to do that same external rotation on my right leg so that we can easily just transition from back to side to stomach to opposite side. So we're going 5 to 12 repetitions on the right, and then we're going to switch it up to 5 to 12 repetitions on the left, slowly sliding the thigh out and in, and making sure that I'm balanced and bracing with my hands on the table. Each one of these positions should feel good. They should not feel painful. They should not feel tired. They should not feel tight. So just jot down exactly what you're experiencing in these positions. Because remember, at the end, we're looking for the position that is the most challenging, or the action that's most challenging, but that's also pain-free. And then we can see how that changes over time, if it gets any better as we go through it a second time, or something that's even remotely close to this range of motion, because we want it to feel better and move better. So lastly, we're going to be on the left hip, and the right hip is going to rotate up. So that foot's going to rotate up, and we're slowly going to lift the leg up and down. So the heels will touch, and I make sure, again, that that thigh is like I'm doing a snow angel, except I'm on my side. So now that we're all finished up, what we're going to do is we're going to compare the end with the beginning. So our journaling exercise is, what do we feel now, and how did it change from the beginning? Can you accurately describe how much better you feel, or do you feel the same? And now, how do you move, especially compared to the beginning? Now, point out the position that was pain-free, but that was the most challenging motion. And what we'll do is we'll use that to build our next exercise.